while since I've done this in my kitchen. Hi Facebook, hi YouTube, how are you? Happy Tuesday if you're watching this in real time. I was just saying to our friends on Instagram, very nice to be back. It is. Wherever you wander, there's no place like home, don't you reckon? So yeah, so let's crack on, hey? Lots to do, lots to talk about today. Got new brands to explore. I'm doing a live today with Kevin Levers from the Naked Pharmacy. We're going to be talking about really interesting botanicals, particularly turmeric. Turmeric is something that I have grown to absolutely love over the last couple of years. In fact, I made myself, I don't know if you can see here, a golden turmeric latte. Super easy to make, super delicious. I'm wearing orange in honour of this amazing spice. And if you've got the current issue of the magazine, which I have now seen in print, yes, only took me, what, a month and a half? So excited to get back and see it. Love it. I mean, I like reading stuff online, but you can't beat print, can you? Really, there's nothing like sitting down with a really good magazine. And this is a really good magazine. Did you read this feature about the vagus nerve? Absolutely fascinating. Anyway, on page 49, you'll see that there is the recipe for the anti-inflammatory turmeric shot. Very easy to make. I just made mine with whole milk, but you can use a milk substitute with some powdered turmeric, or you can use the grated root if you want. Tiny bit of honey if you need, a little bit of black pepper. Just heat it in a saucepan. So good if it's a bit chilly, and I have to say, I am finding it a bit cold. It was fine yesterday, sun was out. Today, bit grey and rainy down here in the West Country. Hope it's warm where you are. Anyway, that is the turmeric latte. And by the way, if you have not yet subscribed to the magazine, what rock have you been under? Please, there is a fabulous subscription gift right now, which I've got right here, which I have been using. The amazing professor at Moorfields and the team at MTHK. These are the eye vitamins. This is my packet. It's a little bit crinkled because it's travelled halfway around the world with me. But I've been taking 2 of these a day for my eyes. And I have to say, I don't know, it's kind of early days, but I definitely feel that my eyes feel brighter, feel more comfortable, feel sharper. Anybody with dry eyes, I think they are a really good investment. So these contain interesting antioxidants, lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin C, zinc, and maqui berry, amongst other things. And that's that amazing berry from Chile. So we've got a little recording that we did a few weeks ago now with Professor Dawn, talking all about it. So look back in the archives if you want to find out. But anyway, the reason I've mentioned these is not only because they're brilliant, but these are normally, I think, £30, £29.95, and they are free at the moment, free with your direct debit subscription to the magazine. So if you have not yet subscribed, it's virtually a free thing, isn't it? So go for it. Anyway, that is the news for the moment. Oh, and also I've been using, I don't know whether any of you have tried these, because we do have a Liz Loves discount with MTHK. These are the eye spray, and you just spray them like that, about 10 centimetres away from your eyes. Really helps with eye strain if you've been doing computer work, just dry eyes generally, travelling. I put these in my little cabin baggage. They were very helpful indeed. So thank you, MTHK, for that. Now, we are going to be joined today by one of my favourite people talking about well-being and nutrition, and that is Kevin Levers, who is the fab founder, not a female founder, but a fab founder of a great British brand called the Naked Pharmacy. And what I love about Kevin is it's very much evidence-based. You know me, evidence-based. Look at the clinical trials, how statistically significant is something, before we start to talk about it. And some of the things that he's got in the Naked Pharmacy are so fascinating and all backed by clinical science and clinical evidence. And we do have an amazing 20% off Naked Pharmacy at the moment. So if you want to restock on any of the things that we're talking about or try them for the first time, Liz Loves is the affiliate discount code for 20% off. So those are the headlines. Let us get on into the conversation. Hopefully Kevin is here. Thank you very much, Marie. Lovely to be back. Hi, Alison. Nice to see you. Thank you for all your nice comments. Hi, good morning or good afternoon, Kevin.
Good morning, just about here.
Where are you?
I'm on holiday in Morocco.
Are you? Get you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I've taken taken a leaf out of your book. I thought, well, she's having a lot of fun doing all these IGTVs overseas, so why not?
Why not go? I have to say, though, I have been away for a while, and I was not on holiday. I was working in a different place that happened to be very attractive and hot. No, I mean, seriously, I had some nice weekends off and I had some downtime with the family, but it was, it was quite busy. So I've come back thinking, oh gosh, I could do with a holiday now, but that's not going to happen. And I know I'm not going to get any sympathy. But is it hot and sunny in Morocco?
It is. It's a little bit breezy today, but beautiful sunny weather. It's been 25 degrees. It's been so amazing, to be honest. We tried to get here pre-lockdown, and it got cancelled. So it kind of feels like we've come a full circle.
Yeah.
And just to be out in the sunshine and next to the coast, we're at Agadir, so it's just so beautiful.
It was great, actually, travelling back again, and you kind of dread all those forms and things, but actually, do you know what? Once you do it, it's really straightforward, and it just feels, I won't say the old normal, because it's what we hope to just get back to, isn't it? And just get on with life again. It's really a joy. So very nice, and I know I'm being joined by people all around the world. Victoria is in Kentucky. That's great. Lots of nice comments, actually, about your range. Yes, my orange shirt, which I have worn in your honour of Turmeric, Kevin, is indeed from Carol McEwen. And people talking about Bergatone, which we will come on to, because that is a fascinating supplement. I have to say that while I was away, I took all your different things with me. And in particular, the one that I'm really finding the most benefit from personally at the moment is the Naturaflex. And I know we talked about that last time, the turmeric. And I was really fascinated by the anti-inflammatory nature of turmeric, and you saying how it works in a kind of a holistic way rather than ibuprofen, or Nurofen is the one of the brand names of it, is an anti-inflammatory, but that just works on one single little pathway. The turmeric is a much more rounded, potentially powerful anti-inflammatory. Can you talk us through turmeric and Naturaflex for that?
I'm very much of the science school like you. It needs to be evidence-based and the right strength of the bioactives. So the curcuminoids, the strength of those are really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that colour is a really good indicator of the strength of the curcuminoids.
Yeah.
But a lot of companies will just extract out the curcumin, and so you'll see a standardised curcumin strength. Whereas we do a holistic extract, and I think holistic is a kind of word that kind of gets banded around, whatever. But for me, the holistic effect is that orchestra effect, where you've got multiple curcuminoid-type compounds, and you want to be attacking inflammation from lots of different angles. So rather than just a single pathway, which is you get with one compound, just in the same way as ibuprofen does, you want the multiple effects. So that's really important.
Do you know, I bashed my toe walking on the beach down in Lamu on the coast of Kenya about 2 months ago, and I wasn't looking where I was going, and I just literally walked straight into a rock that was on the beach, and my foot swelled up, and it was really painful, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do? I put the ice on it, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should take some anti-inflammatories. Normally I would have reached for the ibuprofen, and I had your Naturaflex with me. So I just started taking that, and it was not quite instant, but it was really noticeable how quickly the swelling came down. The recovery period seemed to be really faster. I mean, this turmeric, you think of it just as a spice that goes into curry, but it can be a powerful anti-inflammatory, can't it, if you use it in the right quantity?
Yeah, so the equivalent to one capsule is about 60 grams of normal food grade. So obviously you wouldn't consume that amount of turmeric in one go. So we formulated it, or I formulated it as a one-a-day capsule. Yeah. And to me, actually, I was getting stiffness in my finger joints. So a lot of martial arts sort of in my teens. and a lot of press ups on the knuckles and what have you, which is things you don't think about when you're at that age.
Yeah.
But I was starting to get a little bit of kind of a sort of achy joint, and then as soon as I started taking the Naturaflex, the difference, really quickly within about a day or two. And actually, the interesting thing is, I had a sort of course of about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it didn't come back. So when you get on top of inflammation and you sort of calm down this fire, if you like, it's amazing the effect. And so I would say, hit it hard, hit it early, and get on top of it, and then you can sort of maintain it at a lower dose. So now I'm a sort of 1 a day capsule person. The other reason why it works so quickly is because the black pepper in there, which I call the taxi driver, which takes those actives across the cell membrane, is a really high strength. So you can just put a normal black pepper in, again, it's about 4%, but to really make it effective, then we put a 95% strength black pepper in it. It's the piperine within the black pepper that has the impact. So again, we can get so focused on the raw material. So I say, my equivalent to 2 grams or 40 grams of turmeric. Same with the black pepper. It's the bioactives that you have to focus on. Yeah. So how many bioactives you have in there? What's the strength? And those are the two things that tie into the clinical research. Yeah.
Fascinating. I didn't know that. That's why I love talking to you. I learn something new every day, as I know everybody does here whenever you're on. So rather than a 4% piperine, you've got something in here that's 95%. I mean, that is a staggering difference. Yeah. And you get what you pay for, and thank you very much, by the way, for the discount. It's very generous and it's much appreciated. You've also got a bit of magnesium in here. Does that play a part in inflammation?
It doesn't, but it's really relaxing the nerves and the muscles around the joints and within the muscles themselves. And obviously, you get more circulation within the joints or around the joints, then you're going to deliver the nutrients to those areas. So I was kind of like, it's synergistic, but it's not working in the same way. And it's important that we use a sort of marine version of the magnesium, so we don't use any synthetics. It's really important to me as from an eco point of view that we take our raw materials from nature and we don't synthesize it, because that's what I used to do in big pharma.
Yeah, you used to work for the other side, didn't you? You used to work in big pharma, so you're kind of...
I did.
Gamekeeper turned poacher now, aren't you? On the other side, you've crossed the line.
I am, yeah. Although I keep a foot in both camps, because I think there's a time and a place for it.
Place for both, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not anti.
It's important you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it is, and get that right balance, and as you say, back it up with evidence, and that's why I love talking to you particularly. I know Lily, who's got an autoimmune issue, and she's very sensitive to histamine and all sorts of things. She takes this now as well. She was really advised to get the inflammation down, because she's got so much inflammation in her gut and all over, and inflammation, the whole inflammatory disease conundrum is just so complex, isn't it? Presumably it's fine with people with histamine issues. I mean, she hasn't had any problems with it.
Yeah, absolutely fine with histamine issues. We've looked into that in terms of the components. No issue. The only thing you'd have to be careful of from a theoretical point of view, if you're on a blood thinner, there's a theoretical risk of an interaction. I haven't seen any clinical data on it, but theoretically it could interact. So obviously with blood thinners, you have to be a little bit more cautious. You don't want any side effect, any interaction between the blood thinner and turmeric. There's a few, to be honest, blood thinners interact with just about everything.
Right, okay, so you'd be a little bit be careful with those. Okay, so I'm just being asked about the product. So this is actually one of my old jars. I don't know whether you still do these. I know that you have the lovely paper packages now. So I get mine like this, and then I refill my jars. But it's called Naturaflex. There's a little picture if you want to see Naturaflex on there. So I love all your eco packaging, and obviously you've got the glass jars as well. So that is just one of your amazing things, and I just wanted to say a big thank you from me personally for introducing me to such a brilliant anti-inflammatory. I think it's great. I actually still take 2 capsules a day. Do you think I should go down to 1, or I mean, I'm feeling good on 2?
I think you should play with it.
Okay.
Like I do. Some days I'll take two. I'm quite instinctive with it. I think that you know your body really well. So if you feel as if you can drop down to one, then fine. If your symptoms come back, then drop it to two. I think there should be a flexible approach to it. Generally, most people would be fine with one a day. If I've been for a run, I'll take two before and then I'll take two after. So I double the dose up. Yeah.
Very interesting. Love it. And of course, you now have a fantastic team of qualified pharmacists, don't you, who are able to give more information?
Yeah, we're a registered pharmacy. It's really important to me as a pharmacist that all our advice is provided by qualified. And we've got a team of 4 pharmacists, and they're on the phone or by email. You can email pharmacist@thenakedpharmacy.com.
Brilliant.
Call the pharmacy itself, and I love the fact that we can get sometimes up to 200 calls. After our last IGTV, I think we were up to about 200 calls.
Oh my goodness,
a day.
Wow. But how fantastic that you've got...
My team was going...
What have you done? Who have you been talking to? But isn't that brilliant that, we can throw out this free resource there of trusted, properly trained pharmacists? These are not marketing salespeople at the end of the line going, oh yes, you need to buy this, and oh yes, go and buy that one. These are people who are clinically trained. They know what they're talking about. They have a professional duty of care, and you've got them at the end of the phone or the end of an email, to talk, presumably confidentially. I know people are already asking on Instagram a lot of questions about IBS and sciatica, and oh my goodness, I've seen so many things. So I think that the key thing is, if you've got a personal health issue, is to get in touch and get some personal advice.
Yeah, sometimes it's simple, but sometimes people have more complex issues. They might be on prescribed medication that needs some advice on whether they can take it alongside.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. I love the fact that we don't get paid by the NHS. We're a privately run organisation. Often we'll recommend products that we don't even sell ourselves, which maybe it's not commercially sound thing to do, good. But I think it all comes back to, I think, for my principle, and it's all about finding the best in class. So what's the best probiotic? What's the best anti-inflammatory? If something doesn't work, what do you do? What do you do next? So people have asked me, well, I've tried turmeric. You perhaps might get about 5 to 10% people that don't respond to turmeric, and that's a normal thing that happens across the realm of conventional and natural medicines. Sure. So where do you go to next after turmeric? So that's the sort of advice that we provide every day.
Fantastic. Works for me. And the other key one, which I'm loving, and I know we're not going to focus too much on it because we're going to come on to a couple of really interesting things, the olive leaf and the bagat tone, but I did want to throw this out there because this is Safrasan. This is the thing that I first discovered at the Naked Pharmacy, and I take it. I've got people in my family with anxiety. We've used it for ADHD. You've got a great children's version. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And this is saffron. So it's another orange-coloured spice, herb. I'm not quite sure where it fits. It's the little stamen that comes from crocus. Can you just very quickly give us top line on Safrasan, because I found it so incredibly helpful for my family and for me?
Top line is that it down-regulates the sympathetic nervous system, all the nerves that cause the adrenaline rush, the cortisol stress hormone rush. So as a general rule, if you've got anxiety issues, it's been found to be very good for ADHD, as you said. Any issue with mood, because it lifts mood very quickly, and sleep. And the weird thing is, if you take it in the morning, it helps you sleep in the evening, because it's dropping the level of cortisol stress hormone. But it's this cantilever effect that you get. Helps the sleep hormones. Everything's interconnected. I formulated it partly from a selfish point of view, because our son wasn't sleeping. He was 4 at the time, and we were on our knees. I mean, personally, I just was so sleep deprived, and I came across the research on it, and then formulated it selfishly for me and my family.
Brilliant.
And then it just kind of took off from there, really.
It's an amazing, amazing supplement, really.
My son takes it. He's very instinctive about it. Well,
and again, safe, it's food grade. I was just saying it's safe, it's food grade. These are, not synthetic chemicals that are being created artificially. These are coming from natural foods, but they just have such a powerful effect if you get it right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
tremendous.
The thing is, when you formulate, we've got organic prebiotic in there. So we talked about baobab before. So we both love baobab fruit.
Yep.
And that provides a really lovely matrix for the saffron and the B12 and the D3 in there, which are all food sourced. So totally from foods, from mushroom, from algae. And then obviously we've got the saffron itself. So it's a really beautiful, gentle, fast-acting product, and it doesn't interact, which is great.
Fantastic. If you've not tried it, if you're struggling with sleep or anxiety or stress, I highly recommend this one. Now, moving on, would you like to talk about bergatone first or olive leaf? I give you the choice.
Let's talk about bergatone, because it's one of my, it was the one that came out of Saffron, and I think it's one of those impact products. So I'm always looking for ingredients that at high strength have the biggest impact in the shortest space of time.
Right.
And Safrasan was the first one. Bergatone was the second one, and it comes from Italian fruit, from the coastal regions of southern Italy. And when you concentrate it, you need a lot of bergamot fruit, not the skin, the pulp of the fruit, because that's very different. If you tasted it as a little aperitif, it's very bitter.
Right.
And not for the faint-hearted. If you go to one of the markets in London, you might pick up one certain seasons, at certain times of the year. And the great thing about bitter fruits is that there are components, these bioactives, that bind to bad fats. And it does it in a really healthy way. So it sort of works like a statin, in that it changes the way the liver processes fat. It also binds to bad fats within the gut. So these LDL, sort of small, dense particles within the bloodstream. And the other thing, which is even more important, I think, is the fat in and around the liver. So people say, well, is cholesterol the whole thing about, cardiovascular risk and weight gain, all that? Actually, it's not. You get plenty of people with normal cholesterol having heart issues, having circulatory issues, having weight issues. So it's not the whole story. And you will never really get proper weight management until you've cleansed the liver properly. And fat in and around the liver makes the liver very sluggish. And what bergatone does in a 3 to 4 month period is it sucks that fat out of body and clears it.
Sucks out fat. I love the sound of that. I mean, none of us want a fatty liver. I mean, that is, fatty liver disease is disaster.
No,
so 3 to 6 months.
It's so common.
Because I've been taking this.
Yeah.
Because I quite like the idea. It's cardio and weight management. So I'm thinking, okay, summer's around the corner. Getting into my skimpies. Need to be watching that a little bit, especially as we age and lose our metabolism and all of that. 3 to 6 months of taking this. What does it say? 3 times a day before your meals. Is that important?
I think if you can, that's great. But I think the important thing is you take 3 a day. So for you, the only way you can take 3 a day is to take them with breakfast, half an hour before breakfast. Take all 3 capsules at one time, because the important thing is you have the regular 3 capsule dose.
Okay, that might work for me, because I forget, I get busy. I line up everything in the morning and I'm pretty good, and I know, I work my way through it. But then it's kind of gone out of my head. So for me, I suddenly think, oh no, I haven't, it's lunchtime or whatever, or it's supper time, I haven't taken this. So it's really good to know that you can actually do a bit of a cheat if you want to.
Yeah, there's some really good research on this. There's quite a few published papers on the way it affects fatty liver. I don't know whether it'll show on the IGTV, but I've got a diagram here of a before and after.
Oh, we can certainly see that on IGTV. I'm very sorry, Facebook and YouTube, you can't see it, but can you describe it? Looks a bit like a kind of, is that the liver? It looks like a kind of a big pancake.
It is. It's a cross-section, a CT scan on this trial. It was 120 patients, and it's a cross-section of the liver. You can see the top is before the trial started. So this is fatty liver, the swollen liver that's filling up the space.
Yeah, you can see it's quite engorged.
Yeah, and then if I just lift that up slightly, you can see then the bottom is at the end of a 4-month period. You've got a normal shaped liver, and then you've got spaces in between, and you can see the actual. If you look at the chest cavity, or the cavity, the liver page, whatever it is, it's actually shrunk.
4 months. That's really amazing, and that's all those people were doing was just having the Bergatone for 4 months.
And that's all those people were doing. It was a proper controlled study with placebo. And so they broke the code. There's significant difference between the group and the placebo group. So it's a properly conducted study, and I think it's a great way of demonstrating cardiovascular risk, because that's really going to clean up the way the way the liver processes fat is going to be a lot cleaner. So if you're making changes to your lifestyle, to your diet, that's likely to stick when your liver is functioning correctly.
So is this something that you would take all the time, or would you do it for like a 3 to 6 month cleanse, if you like, kind of like a liver or fat cleanse?
I think if you're healthy, if you've got healthy cholesterol, then probably doing it 3 to 4 months a year would be a good thing to do.
Right, good,
if you've got weight issues, you're concerned about cardiovascular risk, or you've got cholesterol issues, then you might want to take it for longer periods of time, so 6 months at a time. We get some people taking it all year round. Yeah. It's really dependent. And those effects will happen after 4 months. You can track them before and after with your cholesterol results.
Oh, can you? Oh, so your cholesterol levels, when you go to the doctor for a little, blood test or pinprick test, it will show up in that, will it?
Yeah, it will. So we encourage all of our customers to go and get a cholesterol test at the start, cholesterol test at the end of 4 months, just because it's important to show that it's working. It's really important. Yeah.
How fantastic. So that is Bergatone. And then in terms of weight management, coming back to something a bit more superficial, is it going to slim us down as well? She says, hopefully.
It will take out what I call high belly fat. So if you've got sort of fat in and around your liver, obviously your liver's a little bit higher up. Yeah. So the high belly fat, it will take away. In terms of lower belly fat, I haven't seen any data for that. So I can't, and that's why we call it weight management. It's really more about kind of managing a healthy weight, whatever that is for you. And it's more important that you have a weight that's good for your body, whatever that is, and that your liver is working cleanly. And I think if that's happening, then I think all the rest of your systems, cardiovascular system, your risk
everything's it's really going to run better. And don't forget, there is a 20% discount, which we are very thankful for. I take a lot of things now, because every time I talk to experts like yourself, I come across interesting things and I think, oh my goodness, that is so brilliant. I have to have that. I have to try it. And obviously I try stuff for work as well before talking about it in public anyway. Can we take all these things together? I mean, the Safrasan obviously has a different effect from the Bergatone, which has a different effect to the Natraflex. Can we take them all concurrently, or is it better to space them out? Am I doing the right thing by having them all in my system, or what's your view?
Well, I take them all together. So I wouldn't do that if it wasn't safe.
Sure.
And there's no reason, there's no interaction between them. I'll have the Bergatone for a 4-month period every year, so that's my course. Yep. I'm just doing my cholesterol test at the moment, just to check where it's at.
Great.
It's really, I focus on impact. So what's the issue, and let's solve the issue. yes, it can help for general health, but I'm more interested. You've got a problem, let's solve it and solve it quickly.
Yeah.
So, I've not done this for, general lifestyle issues, whatever. I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference.
Yes.
And that's my passion. That's how I started in pharmacy and pharmaceuticals, 35 years ago. And that's what we're here for. And that's why we've actually got quite a small range, really. So when we add a product, we know that it's making a difference. So the next product that I'm working on at the moment is on gut health, and it's a bit of a game changer. So we
can't wait.
Watch this space.
Come back and talk about that, please. We want to be amongst the first to hear about that. And I think that's really an important point to make about having an impact. And, I love supplementing with specific nutrients. I take my magnesium, I take my B vitamins, I have my omega-3s, those are all, really important things. But what you're doing as a clinical pharmacist, as you say, is identifying very specific issues like the inflammation with the Natraflex, like the anxiety and the lack of sleep with Safrasan, like the fatty liver and the weight management with Bergatone. And I think that's what makes you so different, I think, and so impactful.
Yeah, thank you.
So can we talk about this last one here that I've got in front of me, which is olive leaf. I am reading so much about olive leaf. I'm reading about olive leaf and COVID, dare I say it. I'm reading about olive leaf and the immune system, the phenolic acid that it has in it, gut health. Olive leaf presumably has been around since the beginning of time. I imagine the Romans and the Greeks were all stuffing olive leaves, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that it's always interesting to me that kind of you focus on a certain part of the fruit or the tree or whatever it is, the vegetable, and actually you start missing some key ingredients that are nearby. So, it's interesting, the olives themselves, olive oil is very good for the cardiovascular system, but, we forget the leaves, or we forgot the leaves for a long time. And it's a bit like, did you know that, the vine leaves is very good. Obviously you've got the grapes themselves, which obviously you can make into wine and grape, that's fantastic. But did you know that Vitis spinifera, which is the vine leaf, is very good for the liver? So I think nature is amazing.
Isn't that great? So it gives you wine and then it gives you the cure for your liver. I love that.
Yeah. So nature is kind of like helping you have a good time and helping you recover. But nobody's actually aware that, or most people are unaware that vine leaves are really good for your liver. So, and I think with olive leaf, it's a similar thing. Lots of different components. You get massive difference in the bioactives between the leaf and the olive itself. Just in the same way, the skin of the bergamot is very different in terms of the chemical profile compared to the fruit itself within the bergamot. And what we've done with the olive leaf is basically to pre-digest it so that the elenolic acid, the ELA component, is really strong. And it's been tested on various viruses, influenza A and B, and found extremely effective. So we've kind of orientated the olive leaf, if you like, towards the immune system. So there are some olive leaves that are more better for cardiovascular health, whereas this one is specifically for protection against viruses, so immune strength.
How interesting! And I know that you made this before COVID, didn't you? So this is something that was a kind of a happy coincidence, really. Along comes another virus. And it's, we've already got one that's working against viruses. How interesting!
Yeah.
So do you take this or sorry, no, you go.
Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay here, so sometimes I'm waiting, as you'd expect. So we formulate it with a prebiotic. Again, this time it's Moringa Leaf, which you may know as sort of a leaf that's common in Kenya, I think.
It grows in Kenya. I know the Moringa tree.
Yeah, amazing, what I would call a natural prebiotic. I think a lot of companies will put just inulin, which is processed. And if you've ever taken an inulin prebiotic, it fills you up with so much gas. If you have one component like that, just totally concentrated, sometimes the digestive system doesn't like it. So with the great thing about moringa and baobab is it's really well balanced. It's got protein, it's got fibre, all sorts of different components, vitamins and minerals, and the gut loves that. So from an immune point of view, that with the olive leaf is a perfect balance. And we haven't mentioned black garlic, because what we've been doing during lockdown and COVID is basically saying take one olive leaf and one black garlic. So olive leaf is focused on viruses. The black garlic is antibacterial. So
interesting. I have. Bear with. I have my black garlic in my cupboard. Where is it? Here we go. Black garlic. That's really interesting that you should say that, because whenever I get a bacterial infection, I take a lot of garlic. I mean, and historically, I've got little tiny garlic capsules in my first aid kit. And I will take, like 10, 15 of those to try and whack that on the head. So what is that about black garlic then? What's that doing against bacterial infection?
So when you age and ferment white garlic, it transforms the chemical profile completely. So all the allicin disappears. And allicin is great. So, and it transforms it into SLL, cysteine, SAC. It's a big chemical sounding name, but it's a natural component.
Right.
And it's a far more powerful kind of natural drug, if you like, than the allicin itself. Plus the fact you don't get the acrid smell and taste.
Oh, I know, and you're tasting garlic forever, and I can actually feel it in my stomach when I take so many of those capsules. But I mean, it works. Garlic is a really powerful thing, isn't it, for bacteria?
It's brilliant, and there's been some studies to show it's about 10 times more effective than a white garlic, and you've got all these fringe benefits because it makes the the blood vessels a lot more flexible. It makes the circulation flow better. There's been a lot of studies on black garlic with cardiovascular risk. So again, we'll use that alongside olive leaf for immune system, and I'll use the black garlic alongside the bergatome for cardiovascular risk.
Wow.
So it's it's almost like a building block where you're setting the risk, and what building blocks do I need to provide the right sort of approach.
So in terms of heart health then, as well as the immune system, the black garlic and the olive leaf are a good combo, and they're working in different ways. Did I get that right? One's antibacterial, the other's antiviral?
Yeah, so from the immune system point of view, you take the olive leaf and the black garlic together. Okay. Gives you an all-round kind of protection. For the cardio, you would take the bergatone and the black garlic together. I wouldn't use the olive leaf for the cardio. Of
course, so the bergatone is the one that's combating the fatty liver with the black garlic. Very, very interesting. And presumably, because they're all derived from foods, you could actually take them all together.
Absolutely.
She says, asking for a friend, obviously.
Don't worry, I'm there. I'm taking them all. I couldn't be without. Certainly my Safrasan over the last couple of years definitely has made a massive difference in terms of my stress levels.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are very thankful to you for that, really.
Yeah, thank you. And you can break them open. So they're tapioca capsules. So obviously it's a food-based capsule, but if the bergatone capsules, you can break them open and mix them in with the food. Again, with all of our products, you can do that. No problem.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And I hope that you have your team of qualified pharmacists standing by, because I have a feeling that your helpline and your emails are going to get quite busy with people asking so many questions. I mean, we've covered so much in this time together. It's really amazing.
Thank you very much for the time. No, Emma's there. We'll be there waiting for you.
Fantastic. So remind us again how we contact you, just in case anybody missed it before.
So you can call the pharmacy directly. If you go onto the website, you can find the pharmacy number. 01483 685 630. That's what happens when you go on holiday. You forget your own telephone number. Or you can email pharmacist@thenakedpharmacy.com. So I know last time we got extremely busy for a few days. So we'll work through them all if it does get like that again.
Fine.
We're always very happy to hear stories and to help.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kevin. I wish you a fantastic rest of your holiday in Morocco with your family. It sounds like you've really earned some switch off time, so I hope that you can step away from your screens, large and small, now and go and get some downtime.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time this morning as well.
Really nice to see you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. You're going to have to leave me, I think, because otherwise I click everybody off. Oh, my goodness. So fascinating. I have to tell you, that was more fascinating than I was expecting. I mean, I know the range is brilliant. I know that he is a genius, that the products genuinely work. As I said, the Safrasan, which is the saffron, is the first thing that came into my life here to help myself with anxiety and sleep, and my children to help with ADHD and stress management. It's really been a game changer. And then getting to know the company and the brand and the ethics behind it, and the fact that they are all pharmacists and it's evidence-based, and the fact that we get a 20% discount. You know, these things obviously are expensive, particularly when you're buying good quality. You know, and you need to get the quality right, because otherwise you might end up with something that doesn't work. And what's the point in that, you know? So brilliant, lovely. Thank you for all your comments there. Yeah, I think it was great, wasn't it? So good. Oh my goodness. So nice to be back doing what I love best at home. Very lucky in my job, I must say. So I want to tell you about a new brand, actually, that we have just discovered. This is a fab female-led brand that may well be interesting to many of you. It's called, wait for it, it's called Granny Gets a Grip. Okay, can you imagine what it is? Granny Gets a Grip. And this is basically, it was designed by female founders who wanted to source really beautiful, everyday objects that were also very practical. Because, you know, we're all hopefully getting older. Certainly as a population, we are aging, maybe looking after older parents, maybe having some mobility issues ourselves. And actually, you know, if you've lived a vibrant, stylish life, you don't suddenly want to have to go into, you know, orthopedic, surgical appliance type of bits of equipment. Okay, Nikki, I'm not talking specifically about you, but we are all hopefully aging. So look, I mean, they've got the most fantastic things. We do have a Liz Loves, by the way. We've got 10% off everything at Granny Gets a Grip. But how cool is this? Okay, it's a two-handled teapot. Because, you know, I remember going for tea as a young girl with my grandma and my great-grandma. My great-grandma died when she was 102. And even then, she sadly only then died because she'd had a fall. And it was difficult for her to recover from that. But, you know, she was otherwise fit as a fiddle. But I do remember going to have tea with her, and she would lift the teapot and she would really shake. And it would be quite heavy, and we were all kind of like nervously watching and, you know, didn't want to help her because she wanted to be able to do it on her own. But look at this. Yes. Hi, Emma. Have you joined us? Nice to see you. How brilliant. You know, really cute, stylish little teapot, two-handed, really, really safe. And the other thing also, if you have issues, if you struggle with a mug, two-handled mug. But again, it's a nice, stylish one. You know, it's not one of these kind of, you know, hospital orthopedic looking things. It's a really cool little mug. And you can get them in lots of different designs and colours. Isn't that great? Absolutely, I have to say, I'm a big, big fan. They've also sent me a couple of other things just to show you. So we've got here, this is a very nice shopping trolley. Look at this, but again, it's stylish. I love the colour, and it's got extra, you know, kind of robust wheels and little kind of leather look side to it. So actually, it gives you some stability as you're moving, because it's got, well, it's got, how many wheels has it got? Two really thick wheels, plus this kind of, you know, specially designed way of moving it around to give you extra stability if you're out and about. What else have we got here? This is a very interesting, curious looking thing. What is this? I'm not entirely sure what this is. Oh, I think this is a heat. This is a heat and cold pad. I think you can make it go hot or cold. yeah, it's got a special filling in it, but it's kind of designed with gaps in it so that you can, you know, sit on it, use it on your back, whatever. Hi Alison. Have you missed everything with the Naked Pharmacy? You're going to have to watch this on catch up, because trust me, it was fascinating. Really nice wheat bags. This is another flexible, whoops, let me open this up. Hot and cold wheat bag. You can pop it in the freezer, apparently, to make it go cold. You can heat it up to make it hot. But stylish designs, you know, everybody would love to receive things like that. There's also something on here which is a really nice little tray for having your lunch or whatever, or a snack. But it's got a comfy beanie bag so that it rests really easily and it's not going to wobble. Love that. What else have we got here? All sorts of interesting shaped things. Go and have a look at their website. This also looks really good. So they've got seat cushions to help with mobility. These come in a wide range of colours and they swivel. But they look cool, don't you think? They look kind of like Scandi design. And there's one here in this sort of hot fuchsia pink. So what a really, really clever idea. Love it. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about them. I think we might be featuring them in the magazine, actually, the girls who founded that company. So, yeah, there we go. Beautifully designed objects to support elderly parents or those less able without looking like you're in hospital. Yeah? Really great. So if you're thinking of all sorts of stuff, gardening stools, it says, snazzy mobility ideas, like two-handed teapots, and Liz Loves gets you 10% everything off that. So go and take a look. They are Granny Gets a Grip. Now, last but not least, I hope you're watching me in real time today, which is Tuesday, because today is the last day for posting if you would like to get your British Salcombe Dairy Easter eggs or Easter bunnies. Yeah, you probably know our friends down in Salcombe. They are an amazing, amazing British family team buying grass-fed milk from local cows in Devon, hand-making chocolate. I've been down there. We've photographed them for the magazine. We've got videos up on YouTube from Salcombe. And they make really good quality chocolate. And I first came across them, actually, it must be, is it 3 years ago when we were first locked down? Was that first Easter? And you couldn't buy Easter eggs because all the shops were shut and everybody sold out online. And they stepped in and they helped us, and they literally, their family stayed up all night making Easter eggs, hand pouring them into moulds and dispatching them purely for the Earle Wellbeing audience. And ever since then, we've been connected. So I said I'd give them a little bit of a shout out because we do have 15% off Salcombe Dairy if you've yet to get your Easter eggs, your Easter bunnies. This is the last posting date. Go and hop onto their website and take a look. This is something, I hope she's not watching because this is for Lily. Okay, I'll show you, but don't tell her. This is the white chocolate Easter egg. It's all in sustainable packaging, by the way. It's all compostable, recyclable. They print everything in Devon. It's, you know, they really make a big endeavour to make sure that it's all good. I can't decide actually whether to give Lily just the single egg, or she's got here, there's another one, which is the white chocolate egg with the amazing cocoa. And I'm thinking that might be good because I think her husband, Harry, might like the cocoa, and then she can eat the white egg, don't you think? And of course, white chocolate not having any of the cocoa solids, so it's very low in histamine. So it's still high in sugar, but in terms of histamine, if you're somebody who's histamine intolerant, then you need to go for the white chocolate. Hi, yeah, the gift pack is great, isn't it? Give her both. Okay, yeah, it's Salcombe Dairy, exactly. Is it salcombedairy.com or is it salcombedairy.co.uk? Let me just have a little look. Doesn't actually say on my sheet, but I'm sure we will find out and let you know. But yeah, it's Salcombe Dairy. And then the other one here, this is a really nice dark chocolate, so this is perhaps more for me because I love my dark chocolate. Lovely gift box, beautifully packed. This has got the Evening Star drinking chocolate, so if you want to make a really proper cup of dark hot chocolate full of polyphenols, so it's incredibly good for you. It's like a health food, okay? So this one is the dark chocolate, And then they've also got another one here, which actually I was filming with earlier. I did a little film for YouTube, which will come out on Thursday. So I've taken this out of its packaging. But this is a really nice one because it's got little bits of honeycomb in it. I turn it round, I don't know whether you can see. It's also got a couple of chocolate bars and it's got those lovely crispy honeycomb bits. Anyway, there you go. Quick shout out to them. I hope you're all well down in Salcombe. Love to come back and see you. One of my favourite places in Britain. And it's salcombedairy.co.uk. Thank you, Rachel, for letting me know. salcombedairy.co.uk. But today, Tuesday, if you're watching in real time, is the last day for posting. And don't forget, Liz loves capitals, all one word, and that will get you 15% off. There we are. I think, whew, that's just brought us to the end of my lovely, 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 lovely live back here. I am just so enjoying being back home and being back with everybody. It really is nice. Thank you for all the hearts. Send them back to you. Loads and loads of hearts. I will be back live on Thursday. I have to get my days of the week right. Thursday, and we have got, oh my goodness, we've got a jam-packed day on Thursday. We are going to be looking at some spring makeup techniques with Studio 10, another great range, looking at basically freshening up our looks for spring. We focused on the inside today with Naked Pharmacy, so we're going to ring the changes a bit. On Thursday we're going to look at some of the fun things for outside. Oh, we've got some lovely new things as well coming up. Great, which I'm not going to tell you about. You're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, launching some good new stuff on Thursday. So until then, have a great rest of the day, a lovely week ahead. Stay calm, stay positive. We can do this. We have the ability, we have the community, and we can be supportive and helpful and inspirational and educational and all those great things. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely, lovely to be with you. What have we got going out tomorrow? Tomorrow there's a new clip on YouTube on Wednesday. Thursday I'm back with my Instagram Live. Friday is newsletter day and podcast day. I think there's also a new podcast episode going up. Yeah, that'll be on Friday, especially for the weekend, because of course Friday, if you're watching in real time, is bank holiday, isn't it? Good Friday. Have a lovely rest of the week, and I look forward to being back with you same time, 12:30 till 1:30 UK time on Thursday. Until then, go well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.